talking about our fur babies.
Yes.
We all want them to look their absolute cutest on Halloween, but getting them into a costume is far from an easy task.
Yes, joining us now with tips on getting your pet into a costume is founder of Padaloon, Eugenia Chen. Thanks so much for being with us.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
So let's just jump right into it. What are some tips to help get our furry loved ones into that costume?
Well, the biggest tip that I can give is to try to introduce your dog or your easygoing cat gradually to a costume. A lot of times we might have just the inclination to, get it on. Let's see how it looks. But it actually tends to go better if we can give them a positive experience with little baby steps. So, for example, this little bumblebee here wasn't always such a, easily dressed bumblebee. If I was introducing costume for the first time, I would actually get the treats out, get some, playtime in, and just gradually start to touch it on his head, and then try to get it just a little bit resting on his head until we get all the way onto the costume in a positive, fun way.
That sounds so interesting. I never thought about the dog or the cat, being so upset about it that you'd have to break them in slowly. So slower is a lot better in this particular situation, right?
Right. It's, dogs are a lot like little toddlers. Everything is really foreign to them until, they get a chance to be introduced to it. So, if you ever had a puppy and you try to put a harness on them, even something that ends up being something they love can be really strange and uncomfortable at first just because it's so new. So anything that we introduce them to, it's great to introduce it to them very gradually as a happy experience so that they can learn to love it like they love a lot of things.
Yeah, and that little bumblebee today is right next to you, but is also a social media superstar. Tell us a little bit about how they became a social media superstar and a little bit about Padaloon.
Sure. This is Huxley. He's known as Huxley the Panda Puppy. That's him behind me as a panda. And initially, I just made a fun, panda costume at home for him. And I posted the video online and, puppy photos online because he was so cute. And the video ended up exploding and getting over 160 million views now. And I thought, oh, wow, like people are really responding to this. They were asking me to make them a costume as well. So I responded to like an open call audition for Shark Tank, and we auditioned for the show. And we brought Padaloon to Shark Tank and struck a deal with Damon John. So now we make a bunch of different teddy bear costumes for dogs and cats.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, one thing that we all want is a picture, at least one good picture of our dog, our cat. How can we make them pay more attention to us and get some good photos?
Yes. So there's 3 really easy things that we can do today, even if you're not a master photographer. So the first really easy thing to do to improve your photos is if you can get near some natural light, like near a window, immediately your photos will look better. And then the second thing is oftentimes our pets are very easily distracted. So if we even go outside and there's a million things for them to listen to, they won't pay as much attention to us. So if you can try to take a photo in a quiet environment where you can really engage with them, get on the floor, play with them, bring out the treats, have them look at you, you're going to get a much better photo. And then the last one I've already kind of touched on is making it a fun experience. Get their toys out, play with them, and then snap that photo where they just are exuding joy.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We have the information on screen. If you would like to search Padaloon, just go to padaloon.com. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.